Welcome to the Our Team Podcast, powered by eXp Realty. Are you an agent looking to level up? Are you someone looking to buy or sell real estate? Fantastic. This is the show for you.
All right, we're back at it. This is the Our Team Podcast. Thank you so much for joining us. I'm really excited about today.
I am as well.
Because we have somebody that's never been on the podcast yet. We have Luke Cameron.
That's me, first-time talker, long-time listener.
This is the first time you've ever talked? First-time talker?
First time on an actual podcast.
Is that for real?
Yes.
Oh, my gosh,
So,
and you picked this podcast. It's amazing.
My podcast debut.
Unbelievable. So tell everybody about yourself. Who are you? Where'd you come from?
My name is Luke Cameron. I come from Marietta. I now live in Temecula, so I'm local to everything.
The Temecula Valley.
The Temecula Valley.
Yeah, it's no mystery to you.
No, not at all. So I'm born here. I'm 25 years old. I was just born up in Wildomar. So my parents lived in Marietta. They still do for my entire life. Up until I got married, I didn't live outside of Marietta.
Yeah.
So I've seen the valley grow, which is great. Getting to see all of the new things come in, the old things kind of go out.
Yep.
And getting to experience everything Temecula has to offer is awesome.
Very cool.
So me and my wife love living here.
Yeah, we do too. I love this valley. We just had a workshop here at the office. So there's, a little bit of afterglow going on in the background, so it's a little out. So make sure you choke in on that mic and get real nice and close to bury out the background. So
you got it.
Luke is somebody that just joined the Our Team, but we're really happy to have you here.
Well, I appreciate that.
I think you're going to be an incredible asset to the team.
Thank you.
Looking forward to helping you through your journey.
Mm-hmm.
You and I were talking a little bit prior to going live here on this broadcast, and one of the things that you brought to my attention is that you come from a family of real estate agents.
I do. I'm third generation real estate.
Let's talk about that for a second.
So my grandma started real estate back before my dad, and she was in it a little bit, and then my dad joined with a bunch of buddies. They saw that the real estate market was going to explode. So one of his friends working construction, he said, "Hey, let's get our licenses. Let's kind of do this thing." And
That's
so
awesome.
they started in it, and everything, like I said, exploded back in the mid 90s when they got it. And so he's been doing it ever since. So he was ahead of the curve when it came to real estate.
Yeah.
So he was working for Rancon Real Estate for a while, one of the top agents over there. And I, always admired my dad. I went as him for Halloween a couple of years, and for career day, I went as a real estate agent at school. So
you dressed as your dad?
I dressed as my dad
for Halloween.
For career day at my school.
You heard it here, guys. You heard it here first.
I believe my sister made me business cards for at school. We had dress up day, and it was dress as your one of your parents' careers, and so I had little business cards, and I was just handing them out. So I already have years of practice, and now getting in myself at 24, 25, getting to see how it starts, how to begin as an agent is incredible to see where my dad got to.
Yeah.
Getting to know what it takes to start is crazy, but knowing that I'm able to get there eventually after being third generation, having help from my grandma and my dad, I go, man, it's hard, but it's possible.
So you could have done a lot of things. You could have, at your age, you probably had a lot of, I know you have a background in doing video and writing commercials and things like that, which I think is fascinating, which I actually think is going to help you in your career.
I believe so as well.
Because one thing you hear us talk about a lot on our team is, avoid being a secret agent.
Yes.
You want to be out there, and you need to wear it on your sleeve that you sell real estate without being irritating or spamming everybody.
Exactly.
You let everyone know that, hey, I sell real estate. If you have any questions, I'm here for you. No strings attached. Just be out there. And I think the fact that you kind of know how to do commercials and you've done some video and you've written scripts for that, I think it's going to really help you to do that. But put together your own content.
Yes, I've been in front of an audience my entire life, ever since elementary school, whether it be plays or musicals or commercials now, and now into real estate.
So you could have done that. You could have gone in that direction. So why real estate?
Real estate offers more opportunities than I think any other job does.
Okay.
You are building a business. I see it as I am now a small business owner.
Yeah.
I'm working with other small business owners in a very tight-knit office, but ultimately it is my business that I need to build. My brand, my content, the way I carry myself. And through that, I'm able to gain clientele. I'm able to gain experience.
Yeah.
But it's when you own your own business, the sky's the limit.
Yeah.
You don't have the limits of working under someone.
Yeah.
You can make as much money. I know people say that all the time about real estate.
Oh, yeah.
You make as much money as you want to. That's become such a bumper sticker phrase.
Yeah.
But it's true. You're able to make as much money if you put the right effort in the right places.
Yeah. There really is no ceiling to it. I know people that are very comfortable making $100,000 a year, and I know people that make millions of dollars a year, and they're still striving. So you can be anywhere in between.
And as a young agent, as just starting out,
Yeah.
I know I'm not going to make $1 million my first year,
Right.
Because it takes years and years to build up to that point. So people who look at me and they say, "Oh, he's just in it for the money," I
Yeah.
say, "No,
Yeah.
I'm in it for the time that I get to build my business to
Right.
the point where I get to be with my family."
Yeah.
That's a very critical thing to me is family.
And that was going to be one of my follow-up questions is, why real estate? You kind of said, a lot of opportunity, things like that. Sky's the limit. But understanding too that it's a people business.
Yes.
You have to be wired for it. I don't think everybody is cut out for real estate because real estate, first and foremost, is a lifestyle.
It is.
When you're in real estate sales,
Right.
Some people, they're in real estate in other ways. Maybe they do broker price opinions or they do, there's a variety of things you can do in the real estate industry. But when you're in real estate sales and you're working with people, then it is very, very important to understand that it's a people business.
It is.
And you have to put clients first and you have to love on them.
Yes.
And you have to be willing to work with the ones that are really tough because I've had a lot of clients,
I'm sure.
hundreds, if not thousands.
I'm
and
sure.
I don't like them all, but they would never know that.
Right.
Because I've learned how to sort of be all things to my clients, and that's not being fake. It's just being professional. It's
Right.
rising to the occasion. And
Right.
if you don't have those skills, it can be tough.
Do you
right?
find yourself adjusting for different clients? You're not your same personality for everyone. Do you think that you not change your whole personality, but you let off the gas a little bit with some, and then you put more pressure on others?
Are you interviewing me right now?
I
thought I was interviewing you. I'm not comfortable with what just happened here.
Okay, I apologize.
No, that's a really good question. You back to being all things to all people. I have a very quirky, kind of a weird, dry sense of humor, and it doesn't work for everybody.
Right.
So I know that I can look very straight-faced and look someone square in the eye and tell them something really bizarre about a property, and I know they're going to roll. They're going to laugh so hard because I understand it, and they're going to think
Right.
that's the funniest thing, right? Other people I know, if I said that, they're going to say, "Oh, okay, then we got to. I don't want to be in this house."
Okay.
You have to sort of understand if you know how to read people. That's part of being good at sales in any industry.
Yeah.
Then you can kind of tailor it, towards that audience. So
Okay.
Sometimes I fail. Sometimes I assume too much rapport too soon, and then it's kind of like, ooh, I got to reel it back.
Okay.
But usually I can figure it out because you start off on the telephone.
Right.
You're kind of figuring that out. You see them pull up and walk up, and you see what kind of car they're driving or whatever. You meet them. There's you're using all these different triggers, and you're like, oh, okay, I get these people.
Okay.
When it's really hard to read them, that's when it's really hard because I can't be me. I have to just kind of like, I got to find that middle ground. I don't know where to take it, But if you take the time to learn how to read people, and probably the best way to do that is to first know what you are.
Right.
So we really preach taking the DISC test on our team because if you take the DISC test, then it kind of identifies your personality.
Right.
And if once you learn your personality, then you can go, oh, okay, I'm like, for example, I'm an I, which means I'm big into storytelling.
Okay.
But I also have a little bit of D in me, which means cut the crap, get to this point.
Right.
I have both.
Yes.
And then I know what a C personality is, and I know what an S personality is. So now that I can identify what those are, I know how to act around an S and a C person.
Got it. Okay.
So if somebody's an I person, then we're in trouble, because we're going to be sitting there telling stories for an hour.
Telling stories.
And people around us are going like, can we get on with this? We have another 4 houses to look at,
So we got 3 other showings we got to get to.
Exactly. So
okay.
I think it is important when you're working with people to understand that it's a people business, and you have to, if you don't like that, it's not going to be for you. So I know enough about you to know that you have an eternal perspective on things, which means you want to love on people.
Yes.
And so that's going to come through in real estate. Just you're going to have honesty, you're going to have integrity in ways that come more natural to you, because you have an eternal perspective on life.
Yes.
And so I think that's also very, very important too. So
it's been a little difficult having to transition from being me, I can just say kind of a silly personality, into transferring that into more of a professional yet energetic personality.
Yeah. Do you think your age has any, do you have any limiting beliefs about you being in your early 20s, not being able to sell houses?
Yes, 100%.
Let's talk about that. Unpack that just a little bit.
So looking at me, looking at a 25-year-old, not saying, if they just look at me and say, oh, he's an agent, but he's young, not knowing I haven't had my license for long, but they say, if they had no idea when I got it, but looking at my age alone, they say, well, he doesn't have the experience to be my real estate agent. He can't sell my house. He can't find a house for me to buy. He doesn't know enough. He hasn't done enough business. That has been one thing I have to wake up every day and say, I can, because I'm already doing.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm working on a deal currently, and it's been difficult to deal with people who are older than me in every way. My buyers, the listing agents, the sellers, everyone is older than me in this, and they have years of experience.
You don't really look that young, though. I hope that doesn't come across,
I get that a lot.
Look right into that camera right there. I wonder what people think, how old you are. I think you look 30.
I get that around the office all the time. I've asked almost everyone in here, and they say, oh, you got to be at least 30, 31, and then I say 25, and their jaw drops.
Yeah. So we basically look the same age.
Oh, of course. I was going to say, we graduated about the same year.
I hate you. Anyway, so I think it is a limiting belief for 2 reasons. One, I was selling real estate at your age and crushing it. So, I know it can be done. The second thing is you're on a team.
Yes.
So you can rely on that. If somebody asks you, well, geez, you lack the experience, how long you've been selling real estate, you can go right into, well, my team's been in, selling real estate in this valley for 20 years. And we sell well over 100 homes a year.
Yep.
And then you just divert to the next topic.
Exactly.
Because deep down that you're not going to have the answers for everything, because you haven't been doing it long enough, and maybe even lack some of the street smarts, because you're not, in your 50s, right? That doesn't matter, though, because you have a team that's been there. You can always fall back on, I'm part of a team that sells a lot of homes, or even more yet, say, my team.
Yes.
That's what you do. You say, well, my team has been selling real estate for 20 years. What questions do you have about my experience?
The age of me, and as well as coming into this office and seeing people who are far older than me, they have 20 years in the business, and going, man, they were selling real estate when I was 5 years old. So but them treating me as an equal, that's been a big thing for me. That's sort of eliminated as soon as I walk in the door. That eliminates looking at age, and it looks more as we are all agents. We're part of a team. We help each other.
Yeah.
And
I'm proud of our team. That's part of the culture of our team. Everyone just really cares about each other and loves each other. We go out of our way to help each other. So,
and I've been able to lean on almost everyone in this office for answers. As just other people I just haven't gotten to yet, but they have all given insight about this, or contracts, or how to deal with this, how to tackle someone who's being difficult with this, questions, everything.
Do you have a message for people that are your age that maybe are afraid to even think about ever being able to afford a home? Because ultimately, you work with your peers a lot.
Yes.
I noticed that a lot of my clients are my age, because for the last 20 years I've been working with them, they were my age at that time. We're getting old together, right?
Yes.
So a lot of my past clients are my age and so forth. So, I'm sure you're going to attract people that are in your sphere of influence, your circle of friends are going to be around your age. What do you say to them when they say, I can't afford a house, so what you do is not relevant to me?
The number one thing I would say is talk to an experienced agent. And I would say really understand what affording a home means, rather than just listening to some news, some media saying, this is what the interest rate is. Anyone who isn't making this amount of money can't afford a home. That's not true.
Right.
It's everything is circumstantial.
Right.
Especially when it comes to this. Every home is different. Every buyer, every seller.
Right.
And if you talk to an experienced agent, you talk to an agent who will take care of you and not just, you're young, you can't afford a home, I'm not going to spend time with you. You talk to an agent who's actually going to listen to you and go over things with you and explain things.
Yeah.
I think you would have a lot less worry of, can I afford a home, and more, how can I afford a home?
Exactly. A lot of your friends are paying rent right now. They're paying $3,000 a month.
Yep.
And they're looking at a $700,000 house and they're saying, I don't have $700,000. I can't buy. I got to buy that.
Yep.
They don't realize that there's products out there, there's loan products, there's programs out there that will allow them to get into a home for $3,000 a month.
Exactly.
You're already doing that. And so maybe they just need somebody their age, like you, to explain to them that if you start taking these micro adjustments in your lifestyle, you can have enough saved up for a 3.5% down payment.
Right. Yes.
And then, we can tweak this lifestyle, and next thing you know, you have better credit.
Yep.
If you catch them early enough in their early 20s, then you can have your peers becoming clients.
Yep.
And you're helping them achieve something that's just incredible.
Yes. Getting into a home at 25 is not impossible,
right?
Even in today's market.
Definitely
with
not.
People say, it's very crazy. It is crazy, but it's possible if you just take the time to understand it.
Yep,
if you understand the crazy, you can understand possibility.
Yeah. Oh, I like that. Is a bumper sticker?
Not one yet, but I'm going to coin that phrase.
You probably need to do that. Well, thank you for joining us here.
Happy to be here.
Thank you for joining us, on our team, and also thank you for having the courage to be on a podcast.
Well, it's a big step hearing your own voice in your head. That's been tripping me out this whole time, but
it's been going on for a long time with me.
For
a long time,
25 years, people have to listen to this. So
exactly. So, if you guys want to get a hold of Luke, his information is going to be in the description below. Awesome agent, very good with people, and is definitely has a very pedigree is important, right? I mean, your family has just been in it for a long time, and so you know a lot more than you think you do, and you have the tools and the resources to just rock it.
Yes,
because
sir.
you have those, you know how to use them. So anyway, let's end it there, and thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me on. I appreciate it.
I'll put you guys on the next one.
Hey, wait, before you go, I wanted to quickly thank you for tuning in to the Our Team podcast. And whether you're listening on Facebook Live or you're tuning in on YouTube or maybe listening to a podcast, I wanted to just say, if you found any value in this, would you please take the time to like and subscribe? And if you leave a comment, that really helps the show as well. Thanks for listening. We'll catch you on the next one.